It's now time to move to a beautiful segment called Insidious Epidemic. The gracious hostess here is Mrs. Viera Gossai. She's a well-known author of a well-known book called Mahima. Mahima is a memoir. Today, Viera ji will talk to you and I regarding help for us women. Let's take a look.
Good morning and welcome back to my show, Insidious Epidemic, the Domestic Violence. This is my fourth and last presentation and I called it Help. In my previous three segments, I talked about the word insidious and I talked about the global nature of the epidemic and I also talked about the impacts of domestic violence. Today we are going to discuss two things. We have options. Number one is staying in the relationship or ending the relationship. So let's talk about staying in the relationship first. The question arises when we want to stay in the relationship. The question is from other people, why doesn't she leave? Or why is she staying? To answer why of those questions is not an easy task. The reason for that is ending an important relationship is never easy. And I will point out some reasons why it is not easy. Because it is even harder when you have been isolated from your family and friends and you are living in a different country, like we live here and our folks are in India. Because you are psychologically beaten down, financially controlled, and physically threatened. Perhaps you think and perhaps you hope that things will change. Or maybe you are afraid that your partner, what will he do when he discovers that you are thinking to leave? Or maybe you have concern about your children. That is very obvious concern. What will happen to our children if the woman leaves, the children stay with the husband, or the husband leaves and children stay with the wife? So that is a complicated, complex issue. But summing up all of them, I would just sum it up in 4 words. That is called fear of unknown. And undoubtedly, we are trapped and helpless and handicapped. Now, I have said all of the scary things here, but let me encourage you by saying that all of us deserve to live a life which is free of fear. So, now, the second point I will discuss is if we decide to leave. And please know that this is only my opinion. Your opinion may differ from mine. But I would suggest something. Be honest to yourself and do a thorough evaluation of your circumstances and reflect upon the issue, the situation at your home. And do not carried away by the phrases. These phrases are used very frequently in our society. The phrase called dirty laundry, or there is another phrase which is called a can filled with stinky worms and sealed, don't open the lid. Remember, we women are not dirty laundry and we women are not stinky worms. I seriously do despise those phrases, and I despise the people, the dubious people who use those phrases and take advantage of our circumstances and situation, neglect and ignore them. Start by reaching out. The reaching out is your decision. You can reach out to your friends and family members, but you have to keep few things in mind. The person you are trying to reach out has to be trustworthy. Could be family member. The person you're not going with an attitude that you are getting some sympathy from that person, but with an attitude to get help. And the person should be able to help you. And make sure that all of us, do not allow this sensitive issue to become a topic of gossip and a topic of entertainment in our society or social gatherings. All of us must know that there is help available in different forms for the battered women, for the abused women, in the form of hotlines, shelters, even job training, legal services, and child care. Now, It's your choice. You choose to stay or leave. But let me highlight a few points. If you are hoping that your abusive partner will change, the chances are slim. The abuse will happen again. Probably it will happen again, because the reason for that is the abusive partner has emotional and psychological problem. But having said that, I would look at the flip side of the coin. It may change, but only if your abusive partner takes initiative, he does not blame you for his behavior, and he goes for professional treatment and controls his temper. The second thing I want to discuss here is, if you believe your abuser and you can help your abuser, that thought to me is delusional thought. By doing that, we are basically provoking our abuser, and we cannot be responsible for his behavior. And what we are doing is we are reinforcing and we are enabling the abusive behavior, and we are perpetuating the problem more and more. So as time is not allowing me to talk all about it, I'm just going to the conclusions of this discussion. So remember, if you are abused, you are not to be blamed for your battered or mistreated. You are not the cause of your partner's abusive behavior. You deserve to be treated with respect. You deserve a happy life. Your children deserve a happy life. And please be aware of the fact that there are people waiting for you to help. In the end, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to read you from here. I can tell you that making your choice heard and taking action is very difficult, and it takes courage. But I can tell you that deep within us, there lies a courage. So you have a voice and you have a choice. I made a choice, so make a choice for yourself, your kids, your family, and community. I would end this session by a quote said by Madeleine Albright, our former Secretary of State. Violence against women is criminal, not cultural, and it must stop. So I'm ending the session here. My desire is to reach and touch you. I'm ending the session, but please do not end the conversation. You can find me on Facebook, social network, and you can talk to me through GTV. Please contact me and take care. Thank you for joining me. I hope you well.